Thank you for joining us here on YouTube, and thank you for joining the Spyshack Podcast. I want to go ahead and thank everybody who's been joining us week by week and who is with us on the live chat. We're going to be talking about Survivor Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, episode 7, the merge episode, which is what is it called again, Randy?
Get to Getting.
It confuses me that title, but let's go ahead and just there's a lot to talk about this episode. We'll go ahead and just introduce my co-host, and once again I'm going to be asking you all to be saying your one word that describes this episode. And I haven't even had time to even think about it. So, Randy, let's go with you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here. I filled up on Outback Steakhouse, so I'm full. My one word will be fractured.
And Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. And my word, just to continue from Randy, I'm gonna say butthole.
And Kim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, and like always, I want to say I love and miss my son every day. And my word is hungry.
Hungry. I think your mic is scraping.
Is it? Is that better?
There you go. So once again, my name is Perspective, and I'll be your host for today. And what word can I be actually use other than because when we get to the draft, we'll talk about why I'm actually really a little relieved, but at the same time a little sad. But we'll get to that because I actually tweeted about that. Like I said, let's go ahead and jump into the episode because it is actually something. It's I think there's a lot of information this week, and let's go to the camp life in the different tribes. And so Chrissy feels like she's controlling the game. She feels like she has JP and Ryan under her thumb, and I mean, everyone was trying to say that Ryan's the one that was running the game, but we kind of feel now. I mean, the way Sheila thinks it, and the way it looks like it's Chrissy that was running the game there.
Well, it's exactly what I was saying last week. That if with Ryan agreeing to get rid of Allie, put Ryan in a weaker spot and put Chrissy in the power position. If Allie would have been around, Ryan would have been in the power position between Allie and Chrissy. So he gave up that power last week by losing Allie. It's the exact thing we talked through last week.
But here I have an opinion on, yes, Chrissy has more power than Ryan, so to speak. But a lot of people don't like Chrissy, and she is on everybody's radar, as Ryan is not so much on everyone's radar right now.
Well, I think we're still talking pre-merge. We're still talking at the tribe where she was before any of this was announced, of where she was with 3 people in the tribe.
Yeah. So,
but I still think that yes, he got rid of. I think it really started when he got rid of Rourke.
Oh yeah.
But I do believe that Ryan didn't get rid of Allie for Chrissy. I believe Ryan got rid of Allie because if they went to that merge, he didn't have her anymore. Keep her or lose her, he didn't have her. And she said in her post-interview she would not have trusted him again. So I will stick with it that his best bet was getting rid of Allie because of the Rourke situation.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Like we said last week, he did the right move after messing up the week before.
Yeah.
So he's only patching up what happened the week before, but it's only going to get worse for him, I believe, especially now that Chrissy, and if everybody's seeing that Chrissy is the one in charge, he's actually weakening his game because everyone's going to be upset with him, but then they're going to be like, well, he's just the lackey. He's just the one doing whatever Chrissy's doing. And if you have 2 people who piss you off, you're going to you might want to go with a person who actually controlled the game rather than someone who just followed orders.
That doesn't always work in Survivor. If you're controlling and not likable, it doesn't always come to your benefit. I mean, in all exit interviews, everyone likes Ryan and nobody likes Chrissy.
Everybody likes Ryan right now. Everyone likes Ryan
right now. I mean, we don't know what's going to change, but as of now, everybody likes him, and as of now, people don't like Chrissy. I mean, Jessica said in an interview, she didn't even meet Chrissy, and she had already heard that she was not a pro-woman person. Like, she just wants to get rid of all the women. And I don't know. I just think that Chrissy, even if she's in the finals, I don't think she'll win because I think she's incredibly unlikable.
So let's go to the Yawa tribe. Cole talks about the strength of the Yawa 5, which is Mike, Jessica, Cole, Ben, and Lauren. And I really like that group together, and I would really have liked for them to stay together.
And I was surprised that we were seeing this much strength between them throughout most of the episode, because every episode before that has told us how fractured they've been. So I found that really very odd at the beginning of the episode, and kind of like, I think I tweeted about this, the amount that we're seeing of the Yawa 5 is very foreboding of the future. Because never did we see them as a strong 5 until they were trying to sell us in the first 45 minutes of the episode.
Yeah. It was something just for at the end of the day, you're being like, ugh. Yeah. So Levu is tired, hungry. I was watching it with my wife, and I'm look at Devin. He looked so muscular at the beginning, weird. And he looked skinny. He looked tiny. Yeah.
Ryan looked malnourished. I mean, he was thin when he came in, and I get that, but he looked malnourished. I mean, you can tell these people are hungry. All of them. You can see it in their body, because like Ryan looked gaunt. When I saw him, like, holy crap. I mean, I know he wasn't big to begin with, but he lost like 20-something pounds, and that's a lot for someone his size.
But you can tell it on someone like Devin, who's almost looking like Ryan when Ryan started the game, and he was barely able to move. And for everyone who thinks that Survivor is faked or is easy, because Randy and I watched the challenge, and we have seen people tweet about the challenge being more difficult than Survivor. Some of the challenges might be more difficult, but you're actually having to be out there with very little food and very little protein.
You're competing in these challenges without food. I mean, your body is just weak. When you're weak, you just can't. I give them credit, because I don't know how they can compete with this strength and just don't have the nutrients they need.
Here's the thing. Would you rather compete hungry, or would you rather compete drunk?
Hungry.
Hungry. Well, I mean, it depends. Some people
drunk messes with my mind, and hungry messes more with my body. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. But
some people actually are a little bit more fun. You can actually like them more when they're drunk. Like, let's say when Millennials versus Gen X, when what's his name? Brett. When he got drunk, everyone was like, "Hey, this is a cool guy." This guy, like,
yes, he was awesome.
So people can like you when you're drunk. It's not that you're not a cool guy. It's just that you just loosen up a little. So. We see every single tribe is a little, before we go to what looks like a challenge. And what I thought maybe they were going to make them compete as once they merge, and then they're going to break them up again into different little teams and all. But no,
I loved that production set up a fake challenge.
Yes, me too.
That was impressive.
Because normally they just get there and there's this big old mat or something like that, and you can tell right away that there's something. So, what did you guys think of the color, the buff?
I think the buff looked really cool. I thought it was a cool color, purple. I thought it was very bright. The tribe name is kind of lame, but I think the buffs are really cool.
The buff matches our mug color. Mm-hmm. Mark is all the drinking over there.
Purple's my favorite color. So.
Yeah. Right, so let me tell you this, guy. If you're here live with us on YouTube, go ahead and join us in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll read your thoughts. Patty's actually in there talking to us here, asking about Lauren. What do you think Lauren will notice that Chrissy and Ben are really tight, and she's not as close to Ben as she thinks? I think everybody's noticing that already, little by little.
And I said, I think it's good for Lauren not to be attached. We know you saw what happens when someone's visibly attached.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Lauren is in a good position right now. She's not on anyone's radar. She's not stupid.
Yeah, I think we have that. We may bring that question up a little bit later with this merge in there, and I think that's a good point that we can come back to.
So we get a product placement here in the with the merge feast, and it's the Outback. You know, this is Outback is Sandra's, right? Sandra's favorite place to go eat.
Yeah.
So we finally got someone to actually give some money into the show, so that's a little good, right?
So how can you get a whole restaurant and like 6 servers and like 5 cooks, but you can't get a good pizza in Fiji? I don't get it.
That is interesting.
It's because the dream team is making the pizza. That's probably.
I know.
Oh, yikes!
That's probably what's going on over there. And then of course the Outback, they brought their own people out there.
Yeah, gorging. Joe was like gorging. He was like 2 steaks, salads, 3 desserts, and then Chrissy zones in, and right away I don't like him because he's loud. He's in your face. But he's not an a-hole. I know I started liking him. He is obnoxious, but there's a difference between an a-hole and just obnoxious.
There's a fine line. There's a fine line, and
I don't think he crosses that line. I just think that he's just in your face.
Yeah,
I'm gonna refrain from commenting on Joe until the tribal council. So,
you know, he was obnoxious and he was really getting on my nerves, and I'm over here sitting on the couch, you know, and I'm like, I can't even imagine how it was there.
He annoyed me so much in that during that feast, and just is so obnoxious. I am over Joe.
Yeah,
over Joe.
It only gets worse at the tribal.
I know, from everything how he's like, I understand he's entertaining. I get it. He's good for the show. I will agree with you there. I don't have to like him. I don't have to like him on the show. I don't have to like him on Twitter. I don't have to like him on any of this stuff.
The thing is, I think by this point, he himself kind of notices that he's there just for good TV, and he's just running his mouth just so they can have clips of him, and that's about it.
Here's the downfall of having so many returning seasons lately is that people know that they have to do something to get back.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. And I feel like I think we've seen a lot of characters rather than the actual people out there. And I think Joe, even though I think this is kind of him. I think this is a distorted version of him, so he can show us what a character of Joe is. You know,
the thing is, it's obvious that you can see that he's kind of being phony sometimes, and that's what's kind of annoying about him.
Yes,
and I don't want him back ever, ever. I'm putting this out there right now.
One thing I did like was Ben's reaction to the steaks.
It was fun seeing Ben kind of lose it for a little bit, and like not be so like under control. It was kind of fun seeing him freak out about ribeye.
So what would you guys do? Would you guys have gotten the beer?
Me, no.
Well, think about like Devin's just talking about how he's passing out from nothing in his stomach, and then he goes immediately to that giant mug of beer. I'm like, that's gonna kill him. Yeah, like you have it for like 3 days.
I'd wait till I got home, or if I was voted out, I'd drink a Ponderosa, because you need the food, and alcohol is just, especially if you're dehydrated and stuff, alcohol is not good for you. So for me, I never get why they drink alcohol out there. It just Would you drink? Anybody here?
No drinking on the job. Nope.
It depends on how starving I would have been. Good enough, because since I turned 30, I can feel it right away. I drink 1 and 2, and then the next day I feel like I drank 10 or 12. You know, but let's go back to camp. They get the. This is upset me so bad, because we get tools. We get. Well, first of all, did they go to a new place? What happened there?
I don't think so. I think they're at SoCo, is where I think they are. I don't know that for sure, but I think they were already there because there was already a shelter. They just added to the shelter because they have 12 people now instead of like 5.
And Cole is just—he's so oblivious to the whole thing. He was like, I'm like, if he would have grabbed like 2 more nails, it was like right there. He's just so bad.
If it's in the cinnamon sticks, he's got it.
So here's my question. I'm sure they used those nails. So someone had to have found it, and I think they found it. They got whatever secret advantage it is, and it didn't come up. It didn't produce anything, and they didn't show it.
That could be still to come.
But if they're using if the secret advantage is exactly the same that we've been seeing, wouldn't it have been in the same episode that it triggers?
You would think, but I'm not so sure about that. Based off of an interview with Jeff Probst with Entertainment Weekly about a twist that we will see next week.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't read anything yet, so.
and that's all he said.
Okay,
is because at the end of it, Dalton Ross always asked him, "Can you give us a preview for next week?" And he ended with basically a twist we've been wanting to do for a while. That was really it.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. This is out of the game here. Do you guys like all this interviews, all these access to the show before it even happens? I can see it. It's really good because it keeps the fans really connected to not only to Jeff Rose but to the game and even to the players. At the same time, I can see it being a little bit of spoilerish if you really are able to understand what they're saying.
Most of these writers, podcasters, and interviewers are good enough to know what can come off as spoilery and edit it themselves. I do know of times that, for instance, I know Rob has done that a few times in exit interviews, completely cut stuff out based off of what someone says. So I think when we're getting it from a Gordon Holmes, a Dalton Ross, a Mike Bloom, a Rob Sesternino, I think they know what they're doing. I think they know the trusted Survivor press corps. I think they're probably good. So I like it. Most of them all say the same, so I read about the same 3 every time or same 2. But because usually the interviews are identical, it seems like. But I don't see it as overboard.
Okay. No, I was just wondering because I know there's some people that do not like it. I don't mind it. Only thing I do is actually just block the Twitter, the CBS Twitter, because they spoil a lot of things on their own. I generally don't think too deep into them and try not to explain the future. I more look into the questions about the past. Yeah. Try to explain things that we've already seen. I generally kind of even ignore the stuff about future and not even really. I don't think about it too far yet. And I guess we should go back to the episode, right? Yeah. So new dynamics in the group. We have what do you guys want to talk about first? You guys want to talk about Desi and Jessica?
Well, that was pretty quick. Jessica basically goes to Desi and just kind of locks her down, saying, "We have a good 5 with our Yawa group. Are you still good with us?" And so it wasn't. We didn't really see too much there.
Or she thinks she has Desi locked down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Desi, I think her and the girls, Jessica. I think everyone really likes Jessica.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All these interviews and everyone is that everyone says Jessica was their number 1. And Joe talked about it. You've seen that. He talked about it on Twitter how from the beginning him and Jessica were tight. And Jessica says she was tight with Lauren and Rourke. And you can see it with Desi and with Allie. And I think Jessica's so likable that everyone really connected to her.
I agree.
And I'll discuss that more later. But I think Desi was all in with Jessica.
Yeah, and
because Desi doesn't have anywhere else to go.
Desi is one of these players that I've slowly wasn't sure if she was gonna what she was gonna do, because she was purple so much in the beginning of the game, but it was because Soko wasn't losing.
Yeah, she didn't have a story. There was no need to her.
All of a sudden, she bursts onto our TV, and I think everybody. I mean, I think Doug has always liked her since the beginning, but I think my wife and we really like Desi, and she was one of the people that we wouldn't mind seeing win.
I like Desi too. I think she's a beast. We've been talking about that, how great she is, and I would not mind seeing Desi win. I hope that they focus a little bit more on her character development, because we see a lot of her beasting, but we don't see a lot of her social game too much. The only thing we see is Probes focuses a lot on Desi.
Every time. He always has to comment on Desi.
And I don't know why.
When he likes Desi.
I think he does. Sometimes you got to keep quiet because it can just put a target on her.
I'm telling you, he's being more like Jonathan from Australian Survivor this season than he's ever been. And we know that Jonathan will put you on blast and actually say what you're planning out there in Australian Survivor. And I think Jeff has been doing that more this season. And I have a comment on this during the immunity idol. I mean, the immunity challenge, something that I caught. But I think Doug was just creeping because I said his name, and now he says hi right as soon as I said hey.
That sounds like Doug. Sounds like Doug creeping around.
Shell saying hi too. So I like Desi. Joe reveals. We haven't even talked about this. Joe revealed that he used his idol during the feast, which I think. I mean, I guess it's fine because I think it was going to come out anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think you should have said something because, like I said, sometimes you're better off saying something than not, because there's people there who would have easily thrown him under the bus. So just announce it. So
yeah.
It's not announced
like you're trying to hide it or something. Ryan and Devin get back together, and they're happy. It's a bromance that I really enjoyed at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Not so much now. Not that we're getting snaky Ryan. I'm not liking. I like Devin. I'm not liking Ryan.
Devin fan. Yeah, I love Devin. Devin is one of my favorites.
Yeah. I like Devin a lot too, but I still like Ryan. I think that they came together and realized this is what, we need to do. But then Lauren tells Mike that basically they're going to go after the healers.
See, and this
what did you think of that she told him?
Lauren is so because she wants to stick with the healers. She knows that she's going to be in the bottom of a hero hustler alliance. So what is she going to do? She's going to jump over to the healers because they'll be able to run the game if they're able to get the numbers. What I don't get, this is what I don't get. In how many seasons of Survivor has a tribe that started together remained together after there's been a swap?
It doesn't happen. That's what
it doesn't happen.
A few weeks ago. The merge could happen. It doesn't mean jack crap anymore.
So
the numbers don't mean anything.
So it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind that the healers would think that they would all stick together.
They did, though.
Well, that they would be able to just stick together and not actually, plan with someone else because this is what happens. If they actually decide to stick together, they're going to end up getting pounced on. And since they were the majority because of how great they were at the beginning, now they're the target. So so Ben, okay, so let's talk about Ben. Ben, before we go into the merge or after the feast, he starts talking about it's time to get to work, right? It's time to stop thinking about it as a team. It's about you. It's about his family. We know he's going to go in hard, and he's going to.
I felt like from that confession that it also means that he might not stay loyal to Chrissy.
he's there for him. Chrissy is no longer, not that he won't use her if he needs to, but his loyalty is no longer to Chrissy.
And we see something.
He might think it is, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. But now let's when they were together at what is it? They were at Yawa, right? Or are they Soko?
Who?
Ben and
they were at Yawa.
Yawa. Mm-hmm. Did we ever see Ben actually, other than the one time that he talked about Cole not sharing the fish? Did we ever see him actually like be annoyed by Cole?
I think you saw it at camp that there was.
We saw it in the second one. Yeah, you did see it a little bit because when he faints, you see him talking to Dr. Mike.
He's over Cole.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
He the peanut butter. He's. And I think Lauren getting in his head probably, made it bigger because Lauren was over Cole before Ben. Mm-hmm. But then Cole comes up with some half-assed apology that didn't even seem that genuine. And when I read Jessica's post-interview, she's the one who told Cole to go apologize to Ben, and I said, yeah, I thought that anyway, because it just didn't seem like he meant it. It was just, I'm sorry.
It's the whole not being self-aware. We talked about it with Michaela, and Michaela, how even though she was so great at the game, at the physical part, she was never self-aware. Yeah, she was never self-aware.
And I loved Michaela. I think
that's what's cool. And it I kind of, like I said, I've been a couple of weeks already that I've been really down on Cole because I really wanted him to be good. Based on his preseason, I was thinking he was going to be good. I should have bought insurance on that pick because it turned out to be the opposite. It turned out to be so wrong.
Yeah, he's really bad. I think he's probably like a really cool, nice guy. I don't doubt that Cole's probably a nice guy. But he just sucks at this game. He's really just bad. But, in the beginning, when you saw him help Joe find that island, you're thinking, he's smart. He knows what's going on. It's not in the raft, But ever since that episode, it's been a steady decline.
Yeah, that's the thing is I really want Cole to turn it around, and I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. Mike tells Cole that he's a target, which goes along to why he ends up, apologizing because he sees that he's a target. He goes but right away he goes and tells Mike, and he tells Mike, "I'm going to tell you something, but don't use it against me." I mean, Mike, Joe's going to end up using it against him. Well, let's go to the immunity real quick. Jeff unveils the immunity necklace, and I think I can speak for all of us. I think we all like it, right?
It was real cool.
What did you guys think in the chat? What did you guys think of the immunity necklace? And
I know Doug liked it.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, dang, that thing is beautiful. It's not feathers, it's not bones, it's legit.
Yeah, it was really cool. I tried to pause on it to see like really what they were going for. It seemed very aquatic, very with the theme of it, we're kind of like we have like a lot of it is like the shipping, sort of like the old East Indies trade stuff, and so I think it was really cool. It was cool colors. Yeah, the shells on the side. I really liked it.
The colors really popped on this one, and I really enjoyed it as well. It's gonna really pop, especially when we go to Tribal Council, when it's usually just kind of dark with a bonfire. Mm-hmm. That necklace is gonna be really obvious to see when the camera cans them.
I wouldn't mind like an immunity crown one season
for Survivor winners.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what you can do? But you can make it look like that movie Coming to America.
Yes.
With that like gaudy jewelry on it. Doug pointed out in the chat that he loves that the necklace has the tribe album. I can't say it.
Emblem.
Nope, not gonna try it.
That's usually my shtick. Come on. So I think for the most part, I think everybody liked it. I think the one that didn't work out to me, and I pointed it out last night on Twitter, is the Cambodia necklace. I think it was I think that was gaudy. It was just all gold, and I remember I made fun of it, saying it was the Green Ranger shield.
Yeah.
Way back then, I said that's what it was. So what I was going to tell you guys about the immunity challenge is Ryan goes out in 2 seconds, right? And Jeff doesn't let him live it down.
Nope.
I think Jeff is still pissed that Ryan took out Allie, and he's just going down on Ryan because the whole time he's picking on him. He's through with Ryan, and Ryan's still there. Yeah. Yeah.
That archetype has never been Probst's favorite. And I think we all know that. I think I saw someone. I think someone shared on Twitter that Ryan is the 8th sequel to a show we never wanted to see, and I thought that was really funny.
The only one that he really loves is Cochran, and
but that was because he was a different archetype his second season.
Didn't he like Spencer?
No,
Spencer's a little bit different. Yeah, I think he said Spencer had no chance of winning, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think Spencer was very much like JP.
Jeff mentioned that this is a brand new challenge, but we've seen this challenge elsewhere, right?
I've seen this before.
Well, we've seen it in Australia.
Yep, that's why I thought.
Oh, is that where?
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But this isn't new. I've seen it.
So
this is so deja vu, but why is he saying this is new?
I was gonna say, did they just add something to the thing? Is that why it's new?
No, it's just complete copy from the Australia version.
Yeah, for us who've seen it, we're like, this isn't new.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Who won that challenge? Does anybody remember who won that?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Was it second season? It was the second season, right? That
second season. Yeah, they've done both seasons. But
I think it was Jericho. I think Jericho won that.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Which if it's from the same thing and it's an omen, Desi won this challenge. So, what do you guys think of Desi pulling it out?
Love it.
She's great.
Expected. Yeah.
I was surprised that Chrissy did so well.
Well, I'm sorry. You're surprised what?
That Chrissy did so well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She did. I mean, the women were beasting this challenge. They were really great. I mean, to see the end with Ashley and Desi was great. You know, they really hung on.
Seeing Cole just lose it and come back, I thought maybe he was gonna be able just to pull it off, but he didn't even make it to the final. He made it to the final 5, maybe final 6. Didn't make it to the end though. Yeah. So.
Cole, I think, just gets easily distracted. You know, I just think that I don't know. He's just in another world.
Shiny. So yeah.
I guess it's a good thing that Chrissy fell early because Jeff was so impressed by her math skills.
So
the whole time.
All right. So let's go back to camp. This is where Cole goes and apologizes to Ben, and Joe and Cole get together, and they're worried that they're going to be targets, right? They know they're going to be targets. So, what did you guys think of this interchange? Did you think that they were going to be able to pull something out?
Between the two of them, no. I mean, they don't have the people skills for it.
It wasn't looking good at all, right? So the only thing I could have in my head, and I guess we can just go in and just run this into with the tribal council.
Yeah.
What I was in my mind thinking is going to happen is that there's no way Joe is going to use that idol on Cole. There's no way Mike is going to use his idol on Cole. But if they were to sniff out that they were going for Jessica, I thought Mike might use his idol on Jessica.
Absolutely.
And I think they went for Jessica because of Joe, though. I think Joe is the main reason why everybody just automatically switched to Jessica, not even worrying about voting for Cole. Because I know they had talked about, right? They talked about it in camp, saying we should have a second, just in case Cole and Joe have something going on, and we'll just shift it over to Jessica.
Honestly, Jessica's the best decision to begin with.
I agree.
She should have always been the first pick. She's the linchpin in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one keeping Dr. Mike and Cole on the same path because they both are only connected because of Jessica. They never really.
Yeah.
She's the one pulling in Desi. She's connected with Joe because her and Joe had a great relationship. She also is the one that kept Lauren in that group, and to a certain extent Ben, even though they never really felt all that connected. They never really trusted Ben. I think if we would have gone back and seen that tribe go to tribal, I think Ben would have gone instead of Lauren. After hearing some of Jessica's post-game interviees,
yeah, she was a great
never really
player.
trusted Ben.
Well, maybe they didn't trust him, but they also were scared of him. Mike from the very beginning, even before the game started, said that Ben was the biggest threat out there.
But Jessica was such a social threat in that game, and she had some strategy, and I do feel bad that I think that she kind of is gonna get a bad rep because I think people are gonna only remember her for being Cole's girlfriend.
But you see, for someone who doesn't always like the girls, I had a lot of respect for Jessica's game, especially reading some of her post interviews. She really is the reason Cole is still there. She and I thought when she was voted out, even though I wanted Chrissy to leave, I thought that she was the better choice because for game points, taking her further was not good because she's physical, she's sweet, she's social. You bring her to the end, and she's smart. She could win.
I just wish that she would have made it to jury because Randy pointed out last night. Probst didn't say she made it to jury.
Yeah, she ain't on jury.
What is up with that? I mean, why are we going from 13 to 11? And even then, I mean, with three people, you can still get a tie with no matter what the configuration is, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they wouldn't have.
I think it's going to be a two-person
final
finale.
two. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a final two. That's my opinion.
If she's not going to be on the jury, then it's most probably final two.
Keep in mind, Co-Wrong. Co-Wrong had 3 finalists and 8 jury members, and that was only 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm. And they also had that stupid vote a juror out thing too.
Mm-hmm. So I do not think there will be a final 2.
No, I think it's gonna be final 3.
Fine.
But
I think it's gonna be final 3.
Mark and I want a final 2.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't want a final 2. I don't think there will be a final 2.
Yeah,
final 2, please.
No, I think Probst likes the final 3, and especially with the new format, I think final 3 will be okay. Because at the end of final 3, one of them is not going to get a vote, most likely. So we'll see. Are we missing anything here from the episode?
Yes, we're not talking about Joe's tribal.
Yeah, let's talk about tribal a little bit.
Oh yeah,
let's go tribal.
Idol around his neck. What did you think of him doing that at tribal?
I think he wasted it.
Yep.
I think that he let his ego get in front of him. I think he never was really going to go home. I know they brought up his name a few times, but they were getting annoyed by him, but I just don't see it. I think that he thinks he's a lot smarter than he is, and I don't like him.
Don't like your feeling.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But this is my feeling. I was talking about this with someone on Twitter. To me, it's always better to waste an idol than to go with one home in your pocket. The fact that he thought that he was a target was, if he didn't use it and he was voted out, we'd be having a different conversation right now. Why didn't he use the idol? He went home with it in his pocket.
Here's the thing. He could have used it if he didn't show it. by showing it, it shifted the votes off. Even if they were thinking, let's say they were saying, let's go after Joe. As soon as he showed it, there was no way they're going to vote Joe.
And the fact that he should have been smarter because he thought that he was so impressive the first time where he read Ashley's face and he knew it. You didn't see anyone react when he pulled out that idol. No, there was no scrambling. No one was trying to talk to each other to change their votes. He should have known he was not getting votes. It was plain and simple.
Yep.
So Doug, a little while ago, he had said, I think Desi would have been the safe big merge pick. It's good she won immunity. She's part of the big group. She's not on top. Getting rid of her wouldn't piss too many people off.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I think the fact that Jessica was in a double majority where she had the most healers and she also had the most post-swap Yawa made Jessica kind of a perfect threat there. Mm-hmm. And I agree that Desi was a possibility probably if she wouldn't have won, but I think Jessica always goes before Desi, especially with her relationship with Cole.
So he also said final three, Ryan, Chrissy, tie with JP, 0 finalists voting for Chrissy to win.
I think there's a possibility there.
I think that's a possibility.
But I think Ryan and Chrissy are both smart enough to know not to bring each other.
Yeah. Well, I said last week, because if they were to bring each other, they're going to bring JP, and they might just piss people off so much that they would just vote for JP out of spite. Unless JP, which we've already seen him this season, he doesn't give anything. He doesn't communicate well. So if he's able to communicate and string along some coherent sentences there in tribal council, he might get the votes. But my feeling is that he will not be able to communicate and say what he did, and he's just going to be the lackey that the muscle of Ryan and Chrissy used to get to the final.
Yeah, I don't think that JP could win, but because he keeps his mouth shut and yada yada yada, no one even spoke about targeting him.
No, he didn't speak. Was he even on the episode?
Yes.
He didn't speak like at all. I don't think he had a single confessional.
No, he didn't have a confessional.
It didn't really have anything to do with him. So I mean, it was the logical choice to cut him out of everything because he wasn't going to do anything.
But really, in reality, he hasn't really been part of anything this season.
He's been when they showed him, I'm like, oh my god, that's right, JP's on the show.
He's been the just the vote, for somebody. There was a meme that came out I think last week about this week, and it's Cole Devin talking about tribes or whatever, and then it's like JP with the little monkey in his head. That's pretty much what we think of JP. Anything else, guys?
I think we're good there.
Okay, so let's go to the draft.
Oh, wait. Do you think Chrissy was surprised she had so many votes against her?
Not really.
I don't think she was surprised. I think she's just pissed that it happened.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And let me say a few words about Jessica before we get to the draft. Jessica actually had a good game. I mean, we made fun of her a lot for being, Cole's girlfriend, but besides Cole, she did a lot of strategic work in both tribes that she was in, and I think that's really impressive. If not for Cole, I think she would have made it much further in the game. She had that strategic threat, but she was not like super obvious. And you know what? I'm gonna put this out there. I think if we bring Jessica back for another season, this has Wigglesworth potential. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Right now.
Yeah, I think Jessica's a great player. I really do. I think that she has a likable personality. She was good in challenges. She has a strategic mind without being overbearing. Like everyone seems to trust her. And really just genuinely like her. No one disliked her except for Chrissy. But
did I say Wigglesworth? I meant Wentworth.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed. But
no, you don't want a Wigglesworth.
And I think Jeff said in an interview that he would like her to come back. And
yeah, I think
would play a different
strong women in a row that went out that could have been good, that could be good returnees in potential future seasons.
Yeah, I really at first Jessica aggravated me how she was with Cole, but then the more episodes went on, the more I respected her game. And she never told Cole about Mike's idol.
Yeah,
and I give her a lot of credit for that. She kept that to herself.
No, everybody would know that Mike had an idol already.
Exactly, she learned that. Yeah, I think that Jessica was very smart with the way that she played some things, and she talks about in some of her post-game interviews how at one point you kind of see it in the middle of the game where I'm no longer going to have to be Cole's girlfriend. I'm going to have to be Cole's mom and keep him under control because he's never going to vote against us. So it's kind of like what Chrissy did with JP of just like he's like the mindless guy that's going to vote your way. And I think that her negativity that she got there was Cole was disliked while JP was invisible.
Doug says he wants to bring all the women from season 35 back, even Katrina.
Yeah, I could lose a few, but there's a lot of good ones.
Yep.
I don't need to see Simone again.
No.
Absolutely
not.
So let's go to Randy for the totals up there.
Let me know when you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
See it.
Okay, and first, Mark, even though he lost someone, is still in first. He's got, with 88 points, he has Ben, Chrissy, and Joe. And then not far behind and probably soon catching up is Kim with 77 points with all four of hers with JP, Ashley, Ryan, and Lauren. Then I'm in third. I had a good episode with Desi winning immunity. So I have Desi and Devin, who I think are two strong players still left in the game.
Agree.
Very much so.
Saul still has Cole. And will probably be passed by undrafted Dr. Mike.
How bad would it be if Dr. Mike wins it all?
Oh my God,
he will lose.
Not
hilarious.
Not bad for Mike or for the show. Bad for us for not picking him.
It would be hilarious if he won the show.
I gotta say though, last year between Rob and AJ Mass in their big draft, no one chose Officer Sarah. She was undrafted in their draft, and she won it all.
So, do you have any thoughts on who was hurt the most by this merge? And
Cole.
Cole was always hurting.
No, but he got hurt more because his girlfriend's gone.
Yeah, I think the person that was hurt the most by the merge was Cole because he lost his healer majority. At where he was at Yawa, he had a healer majority with Jessica and Mike, and I think they had Lauren pretty closely attached to Jessica. So he went from a top position to look like a pretty easy target.
So this was Mike, Jessica, and Cole's first tribal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, we have four people this season that went out at their first tribal.
It's so weird that when a team that's never been to tribal, it's not good for them at the end. Yeah. Well, some of them, sometimes.
Yeah, this is the Nick Majorano went out on his first. There's lots of people in the past, but we had Katrina went out, Simone went out at their first, Rourke went out at her first, and Jessica.
Yeah.
Is this the most people we've had going into the merge as their first tribal? Or do we have a season?
I would think back to not South Pacific, Philippines, probably not.
Okay.
Thinking of how much Matt Sang went to tribal and how Denise went to every single tribal. I think there was a lot of. I think RC is another one that went out at her first tribal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've said it at the beginning before. I don't like the 3-tribe breakup, and
I've decided I don't. I've decided that season that I don't like it.
No, the reason is because the tribes are so small that it's really hard for anybody to maneuver in those tribes. I prefer it 20 people, 2 tribes, 18 people, 2 tribes. Even if they go back to 16, 2 tribes. Don't try to do 16 with 3 tribes.
I think
let's go to 4.
I just don't think I like the small tribes because there's less room to work. Because all of these votes have seemed so straightforward because there's not very many people. Like this one was exciting because there's 12 votes. Like that was great. Like I really enjoy that, is that you have more room to work, more things can happen. It just seems so black and white when you only have 6 people.
Well, Jessica got more votes than people were at any other tribal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what's happening. I don't like the big tribe. I know I don't mind it if it goes from 2 to 3 to back to 2 or whatever. I just don't like 3, like the way they did it this time around. Starting with 3, stayed with 3, then the merge. I don't like it. All right, guys. Who was the MVP of the episode?
One of you guys go first. I've gone first like every week.
Okay, go Kim.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
I will give my MVP to Desi.
That's what I was gonna say.
Desi did great in the challenge. She thought she secured her spot in the majority. She won a challenge without coming off as a huge, crazy threat. I don't think people still look at her as a big threat when you have guys like Cole and Devin and JP standing around. I think that she can easily hide behind them and win a lot of these challenges because a lot of these challenges are more geared for someone like her. And to a certain extent, Ashley. I think she kind of is that strong, not very heavy girl that can really, but also can balance well, as we saw, because she's a surfer. So I'm going to give it to Desi, also because I like her.
Okay.
I was going to give it to Desi because there was no real strategic MVP there last night. So Desi is, she beasted that without coming across like we have to get this girl out.
I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put Lauren as the MVP just because she can go between groups and nobody really thinks anything of it. And,
Yeah. I think depending on how people respond to Lauren at the beginning of the next episode will make that decision for me if I think it was good or bad for Lauren. Because it depends on if I know that so what, the healers have the minority now, who cares if they're mad, but still they're not going to get rid of 5 healers in a row. Like this game flips around. One of them is going to get in power at some point in time, and it's going to be how they think of Lauren after that. I could see Dr. Mike being pretty hurt by that when he thought he was in good with her. I think Lauren's in a great spot, but that's where I'm just not sure that where she's going to go. And I think the only reason she flipped was because of Ben.
Did you all?
And she didn't want to draw rocks.
Did you all feel feel betrayed at all by Ben turning on his old alliance?
What do you mean?
No,
do you think
he was on the bottom of that other than Jessica, he really was on the bottom of that alliance. Oh. So I say good for him for turning. He stayed with Ben and Lauren, who have been very loyal to him. I like the 3 of them together. I think that they're great together. I like to see these older people, and not that they're old, come together, and that's not what we always see. We always see the old people going one after another, and we have a lot of them this season who are staying. So I say good for Mike for turning on them.
So I'm not sure who Doug was talking about, because he says that he wants to argue with all of us or something like that.
He's trying to start another fight with me. He's always arguing with me.
It's probably me.
Okay. So
we didn't talk about who was helped the most by this move.
Oh my gosh, Shell just said JP for MVP. No, Shell, no.
Who was helped most by the merge?
I don't know.
Had to be Chrissy, wouldn't it?
No, I don't think Chrissy was helped at all by the merge.
She gained.
Chrissy just got 5 votes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it to Ryan.
I was gonna say Ryan or Devin.
No, she got 5 votes, but that's because of the Soko.
No.
Yeah, she got it. She got 5 votes from a minority group. I don't think that's a huge deal.
Yeah,
but I think she did expose herself as a threat.
Yeah, that puts her on the radar.
I think she is on the radar for sure, because once you vote for someone once, you you're opening the floodgates, that it makes it easier to vote for them in the future. Because then if you go for someone different, they remember that you voted for them.
And she's not going to take it with a grain of salt and just be humbled by it. She's not that nice. So she's going to be pissed when she gets back to camp.
So how many more tribal councils until Probst just throws Ryan under the bus and tells her what he's doing?
Give it a couple more.
I think Probst is a pro when it comes to tribal. I think there's some other things he makes the comments on here and there, but at tribal, he knows how to play. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. We were to talk about who got hurt the most. I think it was Cole. Well, we'll see. And so next time on Survivor, right? Healers are worried, and they should be, because now they've lost another healer, and now they're clearly the minority. But you see, the thing is that when you're in a minority like that, you just need to find somebody to hook onto, and you can turn it around.
It's the game. Yeah. There's the same amount of heroes as there are heroes and healers as there are, mm-hmm. And then hustlers are just down one. So the hustlers are the kingmakers right now.
Yeah. So what I've never liked in the past is when a tribe is getting pagonged. First of all, do you guys think that it's going to be pagonging here?
No.
Okay, then this is what I'm getting to. When a tribe is getting pagonged and they don't try to swing someone else, and then the other tribe doesn't try to use them. Why not try to use them for your advantage?
Yeah, I don't know if we have a bunch of masterminds of the game this season, but we have a bunch of people that want to play, I think. Mm-hmm. I think we have people who think they're good and that think they're strategists. They may not be the best, but at least they want to, which is what you want in this game. You want, and I think Dr. Mike made a comment about that when he got to the merge, he thought he'd be the only one playing, but now everyone's playing, so it makes it harder for him. And I think that's a valid point, because in my mind, there's probably maybe about 2, maybe 3 that I don't think are fully playing. But other than that, everyone's trying to make moves that are best for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we also see what we've been waiting for all season, Cole fighting Chrissy.
Yeah, that was weird. But if I rewatched that preview so many times, and I'm going to reword what you said. It's Chrissy fighting Cole.
I had a really big problem with this. Had the roles been reversed and he did that, people would be out of their mind. There's no reason to get physical with anyone. Absolutely not. And had this been Big Brother or something, she would be ejected from the game. Yeah. Absolutely not. There's no reason to, because what is he supposed to do? He's a man. Is he supposed to throw her off him? I just have a big problem.
Let's remember what happened in Cole Wrong with Jason and with Alicia. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on her going after him?
As long if there's no rules, I mean, I guess if there's no rules against it, then I guess it's fine. But it's just, you never know what's going to happen when you go into a tussle with someone that's a lot bigger with you. And if you're the ones causing it and they're just trying to protect themselves or trying to protect whatever they have, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I would just pick her up and freaking toss her. Do they 2F that?
One thing that I did find interesting, if you listen to it, who she calls for help. Did you guys catch this? Of who does she yell for to help her?
Beth.
JP.
JP, yeah.
I found that interesting. He may have been closest. I don't know. He may have just been within vision. I don't know. But I did find that kind of interesting. We see Ben in the preview, but she does yell for JP.
I really, really, really don't like Chrissy. And I probably like her the least on the show. And I really hope that whatever she's going for, she doesn't get, and this outburst gets her voted out.
Let me ask you guys this, and this has nothing to do with strategy or anything like that. Was it me, or did everybody get new clothes at the merge?
Yeah, they got their swimsuits.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, I've said it before in past seasons. I'm like, I know they have their swimsuit and they have their attire for the beach, but now they have their swimsuit, their beach, and they have another set of swimsuit now.
Well, no, these are their only swimsuits. They didn't have swimsuits before. They were just in underwear.
Oh, okay. That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, the past few seasons or so, they don't give them their, usually until the merge or so is when they get their swimsuits.
Okay. I was like, man, everybody looks clean for some reason. Okay, so anything you guys want to bring up? Anything we need to talk about before we go ahead and just call the episode?
Nope. I hope Chrissy leaves next week. Those are my final thoughts.
I hope Joe leaves.
I do really want to see a Chrissy leave. But
We need Buckle.
I think we'll see an interesting episode. Especially supposedly a advantage we've never seen before, which I'm excited about. We'll see. It'll give us something to talk about.
We'll see.
Definitely.
All right, guys. So where can people find you, Randy?
People can find me on Twitter at Randy Knoop, RandyKnup. I do lots of drafts and things. I have a bunch going for Survivor and other shows. I have a few opening up soon, so follow me there.
Mark?
You can follow me on Twitter at MarcoPolo310.
And Kim?
You can find me at Kim_is_board.
And you can find me at Perspective as well as Nerds FTC. I'm going to do my shameless plug again. We still have a couple of these horror comic books available. So, and we're actually going to be doing Stranger Things this week, as well as a new comic book called, what is it called? Stroker and Wells, which is a kind of a prequel of H.G. Wells and Bram Stoker before they wrote their novels and what happened and how they got their ideas. So you guys can catch us there. That's my logo there.
Nice.
And Michelle's actually in my podcast, so you guys can catch Shell there as well. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Hope to see you guys next time. Remember to like the episode, share it, and comment on it. All right, guys, see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.